Why do so many Somalis love their country but refuse to live there? You hear, Somalia is my home, but their careers, their businesses, even their dreams are built in London, Minneapolis, or Nairobi. What's really stopping them? Fear? Tribal politics? Or is Somalia not just ready for them yet? Stick around, we are breaking it all down. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith, and if this is your first time here, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Credit goes to the original creator for every single clip used in this episode. We've got some more clips and conversation coming your way, so stay tuned. Let's chat.
Someone asked me why I'm making it seem like I can go back to Somalia. Well, the only thing I can say to that is, as someone with a psychology degree, and you don't have to have a psychology degree to know this, but some people may not know this, that there is something called generational trauma. Just like we inherit our DNA from our parents, we also inherit their fears and traumas as well. So there are things like trauma that can be passed down from one generation to another. So I have a fear of going back to Somalia without ever having seen it, unfortunately. But I love my country and I would love to go see it. I would love to go touch the sand, smell the air, conversate with the people, and eat its fruits. But life is step by step, and I would love to start with baby steps. I would love to visit Jigjiga, and I would love to go to Garowe. I would also love to go visit Hargeisa and Borama and stay in Dar es Salaam, that's in Mogadishu. But yeah, baby steps, until I get to Hamar, inshallah. But yeah, no, that's it. And generational trauma is real, you guys. Wallahi, it is real. And even though I can just pick up my passport and book a ticket and fly to Somalia right now, it's just not that easy. It's really not that easy. And I hope that some people can really understand it. I would love to start with baby steps. And if you guys want to hear my mom's Civil War stories, I can definitely make some videos about that as well. Anyways, until next time, bye. Inshallah, if you're in Somalia, I hope to see you in Somalia one day. Bye.
Are you not mad sometimes, bro? Like, sometimes I be comparing Somalia to other countries and I just be getting mad as hell, bro. Like, why can't I move to Somalia? Why do I have to move to like Qatar or Oman or like an Arab country to seek stability and good infrastructure? What is holding Somalis back?
Here's what it will take for Somalia to lock in and for the diasporas to say, I'm going home. Number one, securities in big cities, all right? There shouldn't be a worry of certain rebellious groups roaming around in that city like that. Number two, the government, court system, police, the overall institution should be neutral from tribe, neutral from religion. What? Yes. The moment someone can go to court without thinking about their tribe, yeah, the diasporas are going to start investing. Chill like that. And religion should be at a personal level. That's literally what every majority Muslim countries do already, right? They got secular system locked in. And when it comes to the Sharia law, it's just at a personal level, right? Marriage, divorce, inheritance. Let's do the same thing. Let's follow success. Yeah, cultural shift. No more tribe stuff. Literal cultural shift away from tribe. That's it. W. Somali will be W. All right, diasporas will be calling. They're going. Booking tickets. Let's go. Back home. That's right. I'm dreaming. But I like my dream. Eesh. What's your thoughts on this though?
Do you know what the predominant religion is in Somalia? Take a guess. Islam. Over 99% of the population. You guessed it.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation.
Are you sure about that, Elon Omar? You want to retract that statement? Nope. All right, let's pull up some facts, shall we? Let's pull up some more. Right. Helping America thrive. Here's where my problem lies. Ilhan Omar is always talking negatively about America, the country that she resides in, and she's always speaking highly about Somalia, you know, the country that she won't go back to. It's amazing how much high esteem Somalia gets when it's coming out of her mouth, just speaking about it, when in actuality, here are the facts about Somalia. So for starters, United States listed Somalia as a level 4 risk. It's the highest level of advisory. Do not travel there. They're saying it's high crimes, high terrorism, don't forget kidnapping and piracy. Also, forgive me for my pronunciation, but Al-Shabaab conducts terrorism attacks, bombings in Mogadishu. So that's Somalia. Organized crime is very prevalent. It's a hub for human trafficking, illicit network. Oh yeah, and we can't forget in Somalia, there's weak governance. They have poor law enforcement, and also some areas are heavily restricted and governed by Sharia law.
So what she's basically saying, and again, let me preface this by saying that if somebody is here in the United States of America and they're embracing the culture and they're respecting our laws and they stand up for the flag and, you know, they acknowledge the fact that they are here based off of privilege and standing on the shoulders of people that have warred, fought, and has progressed this country, sometimes not so much agreeing with how things are going, especially when it came to diversity, equity, and inclusion. But, you know, in a general sense, we fight for betterment, and a lot of times it's not always pretty. But then you come over and you take advantage of what happens here in the United States of America, while at the same time disrespecting us, and then won't even go back to your own country to make it better, but send resources that you've acquired here and then feel entitled to be taken care of by American taxpayers. And so what I've seen is people that are finessing the system, people that have taken advantage of American taxpayers. When you're talking about amongst the highest of people in the United States of America that is on government food stamps and welfare, that is not contributing into the country. And we need to start vetting more effectively for the people that come over here, because we should not be made to take care of people that are over here while at the same time being disrespected. I don't think that that's too much to ask for us to be prioritizing the best and the brightest. And I don't really care about your past circumstances unless it is coming with some kind of crime or all of that type of stuff. But to come over here and to say that we're supposed to embrace your culture while you basically take over an entire city, and then massive fraud is being discovered the entire time. And not only that, but it's being hidden. And you have people that are apologizing, liberals that are apologizing on your behalf, while at the same time you finessing taxpayers. It's almost like me thanking you for robbing me, and then I have to make sure that you're comfortable while you're doing it. And I think that that's incredibly disrespectful. You know, I've had several people that email me and say crazy stuff about how, you know, I shouldn't align with white people. And
how are they going to be able to change the country if their own people are resenting them and not saying, do you know what, because of the past?
Let me tell you something.
Well,
let me answer this
Yeah, go on,
perfectly.
Queen.
I'll tell you something, okay? First of all, the reason is because of the fact that the politicians currently in power have no naharis. That's number one. Really and truly, if my people or even the administration before me committed a genocide in the south and also the north, I'll go ahead and do an apology and say, we are sorry for our past actions. They don't have that within them. They have yet to do it regardless to begin with, okay? And it's been how many years? They haven't apologized for anything of any past administrations. Second of all, they're not even helping the people which are poor within the country. You're telling me that you're putting so much within the cities, but what are you doing for the outskirts?
Opened up to one of my friends about it, and I was talking to her about how hard wearing the hijab is, and I even talked to my mom about it, and I was like, I really don't even want to wear it after like everything that I've been through.
I did a lot of scrolling on this topic, and I'm just gonna say it how it is. Many women, they're stating hijab is not about faith, it's survival. To feel accepted, to avoid judgment, to feel safe within your own community. Yeah. Many of them are saying we wear it before we even understand it. And many of them are trapped between belief and belonging. Yeah, they're screaming out loud. You can't call it a choice. If the price of removing it, shame, exile. What? And gossip. Yeah. They stated that the moment the Dao bros get their certificate, they're ready to police. Alright? So now many of them, they literally wear it to keep peace with the Dao bros and to keep peace at home. Alright? And for the ladies that have made the decision to remove it in order to keep peace within themselves, Yeah. Both of these two ladies, they're both judged. Sheesh. Crazy scrolling I did. I almost cried. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this?
It's so heartbreaking seeing Somali girls, Somali women around the world on this app, online, who are really going through it because our parents have chosen, specifically their mothers have chosen, to create a cycle of abuse that is not only putting in danger the women, the girls, but also harming their sense of self. Today I listened to a 5-part, 6-part video of a girl who eerily, her story sounded so similar to my story of when I got kicked out. And someone put her hands on her, and it's one of her family members, her brother. And it's crazy because I have gone fully no contact with my family. I am Somali, I identify as Somali. I was born in Djibouti, and then I was raised in London, UK, and now I'm in Canada, Toronto. And through all these movements, I've stayed at different family members. I've had the privilege of observing people my whole life. My own parents, I remember I was like 6 years old when I first saw my parents, and because they left me in one of their parents' home. And I think that is like super normal, but it's not normal when those homes that they leave you in end up abusing you. And anyways, I remember very young age seeing my family and thinking, I am an observer of this family, I'm not part of it. And I grew up thinking like that. And I grew up with I don't call her mother anymore. For me, this is a strict boundary. I call her the lady who gave birth to me, because for me, she's a portal I came out of. She's not the heaven. She's not the person who mothered me or nurtured me. She's just a person who delivered me. And she delivered me into this world, not because she wanted to, but because she was forced to. And the more I have conversations with different people, the more I realize it wasn't consensual. And a lot of women, especially their firstborns, none of it is consensual. Those men are sometimes 10 plus years older than them. Sometimes they are gifted young girls. It is so icky, all of it. Anyways, I don't call her mother. I had to go get some water because it's going to be a long one. It might be in parts. So the reason I stopped calling the lady who gave birth to me mother is because when she had me, it wasn't out of her own accord. And growing up, she would call me things like ugly or monkey, danier. And I started thinking that this is not my mother, because she would tell me also that she found me in a garbage bin. So for a long time, I actually believed I was adopted or I was taken from a garbage. And come to find out, actually, eventually, when I reconnected with my brothers, they all had the same story. They all were stuck on that piece, because she also joked around that she found them in a bin too. But for me, I genuinely believed it because I grew up in a different country away from my siblings at different points in my life, like 3 times now. So the first time was between the ages of 2 to 6, and then the next age was between 13 to 23. And now I'm not living with them, so add another phase of my life, another decade to almost a decade. All this to say, she was basically projecting her own insecurities and her own failed dreams, and the fact that she didn't have me because she wanted me to be born. It was not consensual, and I bared the brunt of it growing up, and how she treated me. Because when my little sister was born, eventually I found out I am from them, my parents, because when my sister was born, I noticed that she looks exactly like me. So I started thinking I'm actually from them because this kid looks exactly like me. Such a weird way to find out these are your parents. I don't know what your stories are, but that's when I figured out these 2 people are actually my parents, and I'm not the little princess that is going to be saved by her real parents and they're gonna come and get her from this ditch. And a lot of people will tell you my upbringing, I should have been grateful because I had a house, I had food, and with the times growing up in Hargeisa and Djibouti, my family was quite like well off, or at least middle class to me, and our standard of living was decent. So they thought, right now they still think I'm a spoiled little child who was taken to these foreign countries to get an education, to take care of her parents, but she's not doing that. But honestly, they were both, I had an emotionally unavailable man who contributed sperm, and I had an emotionally unstable lady who gave birth to me. and delivered me, and that created me, the firstborn, the test subject, the person that they could toe the line between love and hate. And I have been this kid that basically just observed my family my whole life. So when I reconnected, when London deported me, that's another side story. I got deported from London, where I was staying with my aunt and grandma, had the best time of my life, had such a good household environment, and even though I was basically sleeping on a mattress that people would just basically put their feet on as if it was a welcome mat, I remember just hating where I lived, but now I'm grateful for it, because I was living in a house that felt like a family. I was never alone. I felt like I had community. Then to come to Canada and stay with my bio family, my 3 brothers and the lady who gave birth to me and my little sister, to this big house where people are not talking to each other and everyone is separated and silent, but standard of living is high. This huge house, 3 floors actually, basement, ground, and then the upper floor, just huge, but no healthiness was there. Like, there was no family vibe. And the living room, empty. You're not even supposed to be in the living room, the place where usually families connect. And I wanted to like play board games, watch movies. Nobody wanted to talk to me that much. And I'm thinking, these are my family. This is my bio family, and my 3 brothers, each crazy in their own way. We had the younger incel, we had the middle sheikh, and then we had the one after me who was like just proper yalasuq and wanted to be a rapper and shit. But you can tell they are all traumatized. I actually got out, and I'm so grateful I got out. I remember when I left, I was 13 years old, or maybe 12 when I left for London, and I remember crying every night at different houses I was at, because I didn't really enter London legally. I was crying all the time, and I was thinking, why am I the only one that's always left? And I'm still healing from all of that, but now I'm grateful, because like I said, I'm the type of person to say I welcome every lesson. So the reason I got kicked out, reason I started this video, the reason I got kicked out when I reconnected with my bio family in Toronto was I started going out downtown, and I didn't want to be in Markham. So I started going out, and I didn't want to do a curfew. Like, what 23-year-old does a curfew, 9 p.m. curfew, and everything starts properly at 11 p.m. and you require a fucking bus. You require a bus, a train, and a streetcar to get to where you need to get to. This is basically 4 hours of your life, and put a curfew on top of that. It was just not happening. It was not gelling. So one night, okay, it's coming to an end, so I'm just gonna save it for now and continue the story. It might be a couple of parts. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be a long story. So hope you can stay tuned for this ADHD girl and her side quests as she tells her story.
Hi, so I just really want to make this video from like a human space. This is something I've been really meaning to say, and I'm so glad that I can finally articulate it to you guys. So I'm Somali. I grew up in Minnetonka. I've been raised here my entire life. I am born here, and I've lived here. I've studied here. I'm a pre-med. I do research, and that's usually the type of stuff I talk about on my page. But right now, I feel like it's really important for me to say this. What I'm going to say is that I have been getting so many messages telling me to go back to your country, go back to your country. But the reality of the situation is the United States is the only country I've ever known my entire life. And the thing is, the great irony of it all is I'm not the ambassador of Somalia. I don't speak for Somali people. I'm not a spokesperson for this community. I'm just one young person trying to study, navigate life, and live like any other 20-something-year-old living here in this state. And so something that I feel like is going on is that there's a lot of immigrant people and first-gen, second-gen kids like me, with this weight on our shoulders, trying to explain everything going on in our communities, trying to defend our communities. But I'm really no different from any other 20-something-year-old trying to make it here in this state, in this country, in this world. And so I'm sharing this because I really feel like a lot of us are being treated this way and dealing with this quietly. But the reality is we aren't symbols. We aren't some type of ambassador. We are just human beings.
Yeah, I think that that's one perspective. But the other perspective is, you're just collateral damage from the bad decisions that was made, possibly from your family, depending on how they got here. Because we still have to ask the question, right? This young woman who, you have to love and respect the fact that they were able to articulate themselves and communicate clearly. about what their plight is and what's happening over in the Somali community, which she's not necessarily saying anything that we don't already know, that people that are born here inside of the United States of America, especially ones that receive birthright citizenship, meaning that their parents may not necessarily be from here, and they may have come over here either illegally or temporary protective status, but it doesn't mean that it justify the fact that we are leveraging laws that were meant for American descendants of slaves, people that did not ask to be here, and them receiving birthright citizenship should not have been extended over into people that are just normally born in the United States of America, regardless of what their circumstances are. So while I acknowledge that we should make sure that we accommodate people that are legally here in the United States of America as citizens, you can't blame people that then speak loudly about the fact that we should be putting Americans first and the people that are here already, instead of advocating for and allocating our tax dollars for people that came over here illegally.
Somalia will not prosper for the next 10 years because of what just happened in Minneapolis. A young Somali man that goes by the name of Omar Fateh was running for mayor of Minneapolis. He asked for his people to come out and support him, to vote for him, but instead they went and they danced with a white man. I would understand if their policies didn't match. I would understand if he just wasn't the right fit. Maybe he was just too young. But they did it because of tribalism, choosing a name that they've been tied to for the past hundreds of years, that have done nothing for them. Nothing. Omar Fateh was robbed by his people because they can't let go of the ways that ripped them from their own country. It's 2025. We ask ourselves, why are the Somali youth involved in gang activity? Some people even have the gall to say that they're imitating the black community, when in reality they're only imitating their forefathers. If Somalia wants what's best for them, they will leave tribalism behind. We should cut our roots with our tribes, whatever weird ass name that we have, and we should unite under the name of our country, not under the name of men who have unsettled beef because someone spilled sheh on them 50 years ago.
Female genital mutilation is still one of the darkest truths in Somali culture. It's practiced culturally and has stolen childhood of many Somali girls, unfortunately. Even to this day, over 90% of Somali girls in Somalia, they have been cut. Not by choice, not by consent. Yeah, it's done in secret, yet everyone knows. Eesh. It's framed as purity. What? Now that we got the emotion out of the way, it's framed as purity? What? Yeah, it leaves infection, complication in childbirth. Yeah, it leaves scars, emotional and physical, right? Even risk of death. And that's what we're framing as purity. This is barbaric. Yeah, let's just call it how it is. Ridiculous. All right? Now, there's probably a better, heavier word than that, and I'll leave that to you in the comment section.
Somalia have been through a lot. And since then, the country has been slow, trying to rebuild. There are improvements, election, federal system, growth in cities like Mogadishu. But let's be real, corruption, weak institution, the security issues are still a daily reality. For someone raised abroad, moving back isn't a trip home. It's stepping into uncertainty. Then there is a tribal factor. Clan politics influence jobs, businesses, even who gets a fair chance. Love for your country doesn't protect you from that. And comfort counts. Many diasporas, Somali grew up in their countries. They speak the language, have network, education, stable job, moving back. That's starting from scratch. And not everyone is willing to risk it. So what's the real truth? Somalis love their country, but love alone doesn't build a life. People want stability, opportunity, fairness, things many still find abroad. That's why the diaspora isn't rushing back, and that's okay. Change takes time. But imagine if Somalia had stronger institutions, less corruption, and real opportunities for people. Suddenly, hesitation would disappear, and more Somalis would come home. So tell me, would you move back if Somalia were stable? Why or why not? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your perspective. And if you found this video eye-opening, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Let's get more people talking about these real hopes of Somalia. See you in my next video.